Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Enrique. This is Easy Things to Draw 101. Hopefully you're having a really great day. I know I am. So this subject of this video is going to be lifting mental weights. That's kind of the topic of it. And I wanted to talk about kind of pushing through certain mental things and kind of why it's important and kind of my general thoughts on that. My thoughts on that do change a lot. So I do want to talk about that topic because it came up in the comments. Oh, before that though, if you like learning different characters, if you like, kind of getting drawing tips that will help you, even kind of like just hearing them, it'll help you out immediately. If you guys like kind of perspective and the basics of drawing, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe thing is a little different now. You have to go to the bottom left-hand corner, press subscribe, and then you go over and press a little bell icon. It'll actually notify you when I put up something. I'm putting something up about 1 to 2 to maybe 3 times a week, more so 2 times a week lately. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. So let's talk about this topic and what I think about it. I've always kind of compared pushing through these. Okay, so well, first of all, let me kind of go back to the beginning. If you're a beginner artist, so this kind of little conversation I'm going to have is probably for people more intermediate. When you're beginning, you are. No, I guess it can apply. When you're beginning, you are pushing through some of these bizarre little habits you have, these mental things, like people that draw once a week, stuff like that. You're supposed to draw like 5 times a week. People that just draw way too little. That's a little thing you have to push through to kind of get to that next level, and it's it's amazingly fun. The process is fun. It's cool. When you get to intermediate, it starts to become not so much fun. It starts to become like a duty, kind of like something that you will, it's something you have to do. And especially when you get to advanced and you start working, it's just something you gotta do. You just have to do it. That's what you're put here to do. You know what I mean? On this planet, it is something that takes up most of your time, and that's kind of the way I see it. That might be a pessimistic view, or whatever you may call it. I consider it a more realistic view of the people that I saw get good within a few years, like really good. I mean, really, really good within a few years. And I kind of saw that attitude in them, this kind of hard-working attitude that I see within the top of every other kind of, you can say sport, you can say hobby. There's people that they have this unbalanced life for a while, and they will, dedicate most of their time to that. And I talk about my time, me just kind of learning the basics from nothing in a classroom setting. I spent about 2 years doing that, and I was like not having friends or any of that. I mean, I had a few friends, but honestly, not really. I didn't really go out. But you do kind of hit this point of pushing through. Eventually, you gotta, your mind is your enemy, man. Man, woman, whoever I'm talking to, girl, guy. Your mind is your enemy. Your mind wants to chill at some point. I mean, obviously, this stuff is very pleasurable to do. Just drawing, that is pleasurable. But like I said, when you just don't do it for a hobby, when you're doing it as like, hey, I want to improve this quick, you're gonna have to draw when you don't really want to. You're like, hey, I don't feel like doing that. I just feel like watching TV. That's what your brain wants, right? Your brain wants you to do all that stuff. I'm just gonna go out and kick it for a while, like for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And you can do that as long as you take this seriously as a skill, and you gotta push through. Again, I guess there's a slight push in doing it, and you don't have to see it that way. One way I've seen it drastically improve for me is not seeing it as something that's a labor. See, it's more just like finding what I loved about it in the beginning. Where it's almost like you're definitely gonna have to push yourself to do stuff, but it's not as bad. It's not from the frame of this is I got to do this or I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. That's too much. Just be like, hey, put the time into it. There's gonna be these moments you don't want to do something, right? Like drawing a certain thing, right? I've seen that. I don't want to draw like backgrounds or whatever it is that you find boring. I don't want to do that, But you're gonna have to push yourself a little bit to spend time actually doing that. you know. And in the beginning, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, especially in the very beginning, right? Have you ever heard the, well, I think it's for writers, the first draft is for the garbage? You know, like that first few are gonna suck, you know. And I've talked about this before too. When you're already good at one thing, it's really hard to go back. Like for example, if you're really good at drawing faces, or if you're really good at drawing like people, and all of a sudden you're gonna draw animals, and your animals look like crapola, it's hard to see that again because your mind tells you, hey, I'm good at art. So when you start drawing stuff you're not good at, it's a pretty big shot to your ego. You're like, oh man, I suck again. What? Because you're just not good at that one thing, right? And you're becoming, I know in jiu-jitsu or any of the fighting, you know, they say you're becoming a white belt again, and it's the same thing. It's drawing, but it's drawing something else. You're becoming a beginner again, and the people that are the best are not afraid of being beginners again within that topic. You know, obviously you don't have to learn anything from scratch because you already know how to draw one thing, and that leads into others. But you know, it helps. But like I said, you're starting kind of a new thing. Like drawing a building is very different than drawing a dinosaur. You know, there's some similarities in structure, like I've talked about, structure, simple shapes, all that stuff. But when you get into the details and stuff and what needs to be on it, that's going to be completely different than an organic topic. Anyways, honestly, that was it. That's a big rant, guys, and I just threw a bunch of shit at you. I just threw a bunch of random thoughts. Hopefully that kind of made sense. I just wanted to get that out of my mind because I saw a comment about, you know, this lifting mental weights, this pushing through barrier, this pushing, you know. So I wanted to give my thoughts on it. Hopefully some of that made sense to you. If not, I apologize. If any of that did make sense, please, you know, press a like or subscribe. Tell me your thoughts about, like, I want to know actually your guys' stuff about when you felt you had to push yourself to get better. You know, whether it be in anything. I really would like the drawing ones though. But can you give me an idea of like when you had to push yourself to kind of overcome something, to make yourself do this or do that within art? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you guys what you guys think, and I want to make this actually a discussion. That's about it, guys. I'll talk to you next time, and I'll see you soon.